guys, this is Central Oregon Survival Network coming at you again today. Today I want to just do a brief video of my opinion and kind of an overview of bug out vehicles, and also the beginning and the start of my own bug out vehicle. Now, I know there's a ton of videos on the internet and on YouTube about what makes the best bug out vehicle, you know, a lot of different things to look at, mixed reviews, opinions, and just a ton of information out there. Now, it all really boils down to, you know, either personal preference or, you know, what you can afford. And it basically comes down to, like, what I use right now is just my regular vehicle. Like, as seen here, it's a F-250 Ford. It's got a diesel, which is really reliable, and transmission's freshly rebuilt. Now, basically, it's what you have. You know, if you don't have an extreme 4x4 or a 5-ton or, you know, a military vehicle or, you know, a 109 Blazer or something like that, that's okay. You know, whatever gets you out of that situation that you're in, you know, especially kind of where we're at, you know, we do a lot of fire evacuations and, you know, different stuff like that. So whatever gets you out of the area, that's your bug out vehicle. You know, you don't need to have something souped up or just crazy, you know, or a military vehicle, and it really depends on the situation. So I'm just gonna go over a really quick kind of things to think about, and this is again, my personal opinion on bug out vehicles or emergency evacuation vehicles. So first off is money. You know, of course, vehicles cost money. You know, there's money restrictions out there. Not everybody's got a bunch of money to dump into a vehicle and make it specifically for bugging out. You know, do you drive it every day? If you're at work and it's at home, what good does it do you, you know? So there's a lot of things to think about. Is it your everyday driver? You know, I know a lot of friends that I have, like Coyote Works, you know, he has a vehicle that he drives every day that has everything he needs in it to get out of town. He even has, now he has a portable tent that's on top. It's a great system, the CVT, but, you know, it boils down to money. You know, how much money do you want to dump into something when you could be putting into something else? Now, I've been working on a vehicle for, well, actually buying parts for a year and a half now, and which is this you can see behind me. And here's a better view of the vehicle that I'm working on. And this is just starting out. I've got all the parts right now to really get started on it and get something done. But again, it goes back to money, and whatever vehicle you have, it works. But some things to think about and that can help you if you are building a bug out vehicle, or if you want something a little more specific, is think about, what are you preparing for? Yeah, you can't prepare for everything. I mean, trust me, you can prepare for, you know, a fire evac, or, which is pretty general, but you can be preparing for a pandemic or a collapse, you know, where you're gonna have to fight your way through stuff, you know, and you could be preparing for that. But you can't prepare for everything. You just can't, you know. So, but think about what you want to prepare for. And what I mean also by that is, like, say if you live in Los Angeles or a big city, even Portland, Oregon or something, and, you know, a motorcycle is a great bug out vehicle. Yeah, you can't haul a lot of stuff, but you can get through good gridlocks. You can get through traffic jams. You can get up in the mountains. You can get around, you know, or just, you know, through trails, smaller networks. You know, a motorcycle can be a very good asset to a person that lives in a populated area. Maybe not if they have a family, but that's something to think about. Also, do you live in a rural area? Do you need a 4x4? You know, and that's kind of what I'm building, is more of a 4x4 trail vehicle, not necessarily a bug out, but it's going to be kind of a dual purpose type of vehicle. Some more things to think about is, you know, gas mileage. And everybody's like, oh, gas mileage, you know, yeah, you can use a Honda Element or, you know, something that gets good gas mileage, but what's it going to do for you? You know, or can you get up out of certain areas and go off road, you know, and you know, if you have to, get around gridlocks or, you know, jammed roads, whatever, you know, you need a 4x4, you know, 2-wheel drive, you get stuck in your own shadow sometimes. So that's another thing to think about. When it comes back to gas mileage, yeah, this vehicle will probably get about 14 miles to the gallon if I'm lucky, but it's still going to get decent gas mileage. I'm putting another tank in the back, plus I've got a, which I'll do a later video on, got a portable refuel station that you can actually go to another vehicle, slap it on the side, and refill your own vehicle off of another one using a pump. It's all self-sustained, and I'll show you that in a different video. But gas mileage, again, You know, what are you preparing for? What are you looking at? And then it goes into the big debate of what type of fuel. Do you want to do diesel? Do you want to do gas? I think gas is going to be more prevalent, but you know, if you go to diesel, you know, you've got farms, you've got places where you can find it, you can make it, biodiesel, you know, so that's another big debate. I'm going to go with gas, of course, on this vehicle. I do own a diesel, so I kind of got a dual fold again. But my opinion, I'm going to go with gas, you know. Reliability, that's a big issue, and that's why I've done a lot of preparing for this. I've got, you know, rebuilding the engine, rebuilding the transmission, rebuilding the transfer case, going through the brake system, going through everything on this vehicle, every single thing, because I want it to be, of course, reliable. Then you also talk about ease of repair. It's a lot easier for me to repair this 1976, you know, Blazer. And the engine's common, 350, you can find parts, they're cheap, and I can repair it myself. And that's a big thing for me. I know not everybody's a mechanic, not everybody knows their vehicle, which I do recommend, even if you have a newer vehicle, knowing your vehicle and how to fix small issues. It's going to help you in the long run. You know, then we talk about the EMP. You know, EMPs happen. They always do. Sun EMPs, yeah, maybe terrorist attack, but, you know, that'd be far-fetched, but it could happen. You know, so this is another vehicle that, in my personal opinion, not a lot of studies have been done on vehicles and EMPs, but I think that this vehicle would last longer than something that's newer, you know, with ECMs, you know, brain boxes that have potential to go out, you know. So that's another thing to think about is potential EMPs. And I also have another distributor and coil that's inside of a ferrule box that's going to be underneath the hood so that I can actually replace my electrical system if it gets that bad, which again, not a lot of research has been done, and there has been some past events where really, you know, 1800s event that, you know, I'm sure everybody researched this when they research EMPs. But and then we go to OPSEC, which is kind of the last deal is, you know, do you want to stick out like a sore thumb? You know, some people are like, heck no, I don't want to stick out. I want to kind of be under the wire. I've got a vehicle, you know, a minivan or something that nobody notices. That's good to go. You know, I mean, if you've got a two-wheel drive minivan or something, it depends on where you live and what you're preparing for. Now, in my situation, I wouldn't say going to stick out like a sore thumb, but it will stick out. You know, I've got the winch, I've got, you know, I'm doing a full bar set on the front and rear swing gate, you know, feels in the back, doing a top rack, and, you know, lights, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, it's going to stick out a little bit, but I can go anywhere, you know, well, not anywhere, but I can go a lot of places where a lot of vehicles can't. And that's going to be one of the big things that this does, because I live in a rural area and I'm preparing if I needed to get out of town and go somewhere where other people can't. This is going to take me there. So those are just some of my opinions, some of the ideas and things to look at when you're doing a bug out vehicle. And this is going to be the beginning of mine, and I'm going to do a video series on everything I do to this vehicle. And there's a lot of stuff that I have planned, and it should go pretty good. I'm hoping that you'll like the video series that I'm going to do, and I thank you all for subscribing and everything you do. If you have any criticisms or anything that you want to say, please put it in the description box. Let's have a good conversation about it. If you don't like the video, then you don't like the video. That's, you know, there's so much controversy around bug out vehicles and emergency, you know, vehicles. Just throw it down the description block and let's talk about it, and let's have a good conversation. You know, help me out, I help you out. That's what these videos do. So hey, thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.